at 10 to 1, and Easter Sun reverts to 12s. Pulse Rate and Sacrilege both at 12 to 1. Majestic Star and Hall Knight at 14s. Atlantic Boy 16 to 1. Cannon King and King's Ride both at 20s, 25 to 1 bar those.
So the money coming back on to Tender Heart. Well, the draw, first of all, are the ones drawn on the right on the inside. We've got Fine Blue drawn 1, Cardinal Flower and Cannon King drawn on the inside. So there's the ones trying to make the best of their way up on the rails on this side. Whilst right over on the far side, we've got a group of quite reasonably fancied horses. You've got Easter Sun, Smoke Singer not so much, but anyway, Hall Knight is over there, as is Sacrilege and Paleo. Right over on the far side is the Drum S trained by Gavin Pritchard-Gordon. The favourite Tender Heart is drawn 8, so Joe Mercer's got to make a decision there as to whether to go with the group on this side or the group on the far side. It'll be very interesting to see what he decides to do. That's Sacrilege going round behind the stall, several more already in. I've done a lot of waffling, so let's give Graham Good a breather.
Number 19, Sacrilege, one of Peter Warwin's 2 representatives, ridden this afternoon by young Nicky Howe, whose big success this season was on Fine Blue. In fact, on Fine Sun in the John Smith Magnet, not Fine Blue. Fine Blue, in fact, a runner here. And for those of you who are looking in, jockey Steve Cawthon has lost his cap coming down to the start on Fine Blue. And so that one looks as if it's got a black cap. The 13 is Cardinal Flower. 7 is Pulse Rate. Hall Knight going in there. You can see Fine Blue and Steve Cawthon. Just the crash helmet, no cap. And I think when Fine Blue is in, that'll be about it for the William Hill Cambridgeshire. Baronet still to go in. Princess Gate now 10 to 1 from 9 to 1. Fine Blue and Steve just about to go in. Fine Blue ran a corker in this race last year and relatively ignored in the betting. Don't know why. Baronet just about to go in. And these two will be the last in, I think. That looks about it. Take the blind off. They're all in, you heard. They're under orders and they're off. For the William Hill Cambridgeshire, and very quickly into its stride is Double Meaning. And that one leads from Majestic Star. Then just in behind these African Rhythm, and with them Pulse Rate, Paleo and Sacrilege up on the outside. And at the end of the first furlong and a half, it's Double Meaning and Pulse Rate from Paleo and Sacrilege. Then right on the inside, Princess Gate. Just in behind these comes African Rhythm. They've completed a quarter of a mile, and Paleo up on the outside. Right on the near side are Double Meaning, and with Double Meaning, Princess Gate. They've just got over 6 furlongs to go, and it's Paleo up on the outside and Double Meaning. Then right on the near side is Cardinal Flower. African Rhythm right with them, improving his 1 Fleet Street. The back marker at this stage is Drum F's. They've just got under 5 furlongs to go, and Paleo in the lead from Cardinal Flower over to John Penny.
And just about 4 furlongs still to go, and on the far side Paleo, up the centre Princess Gate, African Rhythm on turns the leaders, on the near side Double Mean and also Cannon King and Cardinal Flower. And so they have 3.5 furlongs still to go, and the lead still being disputed about Princess Gate. And then comes Pulse Rate, come to join the leaders on the far side. So too does Sacrilege and Easter Sun. And so they pass a 3 furlong from home markers. Little activity here between Pulse Rate, Sacrilege, Easter Sun on the far side. On the near side, then comes Majestic Star, and they come past the bushes on towards the final quarter mile. Easter Sun on the far side, Sacrilege and Pulse Rate. That's the leading 3. Double Meaning on the near scene. Cannon King also under pressure, so too is Cardinal Flower. They go down into the dip, and it's Pulse Rate and Easter Sun battling it out. Then just behind them comes Baronet, also making a forward move, Atlantic Boy on the far side. Then comes Hall Knight. They pass the furlong from home marker. Easter Sun now maintained on by Pulse Rate, and Baronet on the near side. Atlantic Boy trying to come through on the far side. They got about 100 yards still to go, and it's Baronet now takes a fractional lead at the line. Baronet just beating Drum S for me, and in third place Pulse Rate, Double Meaning. Then comes Tender Heart, followed in by Fine Blue. After that, Atlantic Boy, Easter Sun, and Fond over a whole host, including Princess Gate, and one of the last ones over a Majestic Star. And so old Baronet, who won this race back as a 6-year-old, has completed a unique double here, although it has gone to a photo, but that's the way I read it. And if he has, no 8-year-old has ever won it this century. And so Baronet, who came and closed the gap in on the lead as they came inside that final quarter mile, then had a real good run through under Brian Rouse. And of course Brian Rouse was also aboard Baronet when he won it in 1978 for Mr. F.A. Harris, and of course Baronet still with the John Benstead stable. But that's the way I saw the race. Drum F's came out of the blue to chase him home and narrow the gap, as we wait for the outcome of the photo. Let's see the replay with Ken Butler.
And a tremendous chance. My selection, Cannon King, actually slipping away on the inside there. The favourite Tenderheart actually rather gets stopped in his run. I don't know if you can see him in the middle there. I don't think he would have got there, but he's just beginning to make his run. He seems to get stopped in his run, and that's, as far as he's concerned, that's the end of it. Anyway, we got the winner coming through nicely. Atlantic Boy running very promptly on this side. The winner coming through very nicely in the middle. Peleo still going very, very well there. Dromefs, who was actually plumb last at one stage, is now making very fast progress, actually behind Cannon King at that stage. I don't know how much further we've got to go at the moment. Meantime, we've got Baronet just about coming through to win his race here. Atlantic Boy battling on as hard as he can on the far side, on this side of him. Not quite sure what the one is right over one, but on the far side. But anyway, he's weakening out of it at this stage. Dromef's coming very, very fast and late on this side. Tenderheart, you can see, is actually not in the first 8 at that stage, never really getting much of a chance. Baronet sticking out his head. It's Dromef's on this side who's putting in the most challenge to him, but I think he's probably just holding on, Baronet, although he's perhaps really dying on the line. We'll have to wait for the result of the photo. Goodness knows what's third. It could possibly be Atlantic Boy. No, I think possibly Atlantic Boy's third, John, but I'll throw that back to you.
No, if we can just hold that freeze frame for the moment. It looks like Baronet on the far side, Dromef's finishing very fast on the near side, Pulse Rate in third, then Double Meaning, followed by Tenderheart, then on the near side, Fine Blue and Atlantic Boy on the far side. And so a real blanket finish here for the William Hill Cambridgeshire Handicap.
Tenderheart in the Cambridgeshire at Newmarket means that the bookmakers of Britain have been saved a £2.5 million payout, because that's what they were due to cough up had Tenderheart won his race and Alcuwait won next Saturday's second leg of the autumn double that totes Cesarewitch also at Newmarket. Well, Alcuwait is still very much the favourite, and one of the reasons for that was this splendid victory at Newmarket in July.
And the favourite Alcuwait at the moment beginning to struggle perhaps a little bit in last place as they come now down to the final 2 furlongs, and Pat Eddery asks Lee just to quicken again. Halin now going into second place, but here comes Alcuwait with a run now. He looked to be struggling, but he's running on very strongly now as they race up out of the dip and meet the rising ground, and it's Legius from Halin, and between these two comes Alcuwait with a very strong looking run. Couldn't quite get through there, but he's got through now, and racing up towards the line as Legius drops away. It's going to be Alcuwait who's going to win it. Up the line, coming up the line now. Alcuwait is the winner. Back on.
Yes, victory for Alcuwait, the favourite for Saturday's big race, but the burning question of the hour must be, will John Tyrrel tip him and ruin his chances forever, or will he oppose him? Come on, John, what do you say? Alcuwait or not?
Oh, don't worry, John Sutcliffe and the Middle Eastern connection that own Alcuwait can breathe again. I'm not going to go for him. He's had one race since the one we've just seen. He was 4th then at Newmarket over 12 furlongs, a distance, of course, far too short for him, but a good prep race nonetheless. The ground is softening. I think he must have a great chance, but of course the odds are very cramped at 7-2, and this is a very bad race for favourites. But one we have got to talk about, I think, out of that race is Hylin. Only second there to Alcuwait, but a winner of 5 of his 7 races since that time. He's really badly handicapped, of course, as a result of all that success, but he's a great campaigner. The stable's in great form. They had a nice winner at Ascot on Saturday, and you can't really ignore his chance.
But you're not tipping either of those in actual fact. And I think it's fair to say, and not cruel to say, that it is a week or two since you did pick us a winner. So, so what's going to win the Cesarewitch on Saturday?
It's a long time since I picked a winner on the flat, Fred. Yes, I don't know what it was called, but I know Gordon Richards rode it.
Yes, and I was 12 years old at the time.
That's right. An apprentice, yes. I'm going for Pops's Joy. I'm relying on the old maestro, Lester Pickett, to get me out of trouble. Not for the first time, I would add. This horse has improved about a stone since last season, I think. A course winner in 1979, winner of 5 races this year, including his latest start, the Sportsman's Club Handicap at Sandown back in August.
Quarter of a mile still to go. Johnny still has the advantage, but Lester comes up on the outside on Pops's Joy. These two are then leaving Francesco and Willie Copps as they run now towards the final furlong. It's Lester Pickett on the near side. Pops's Joy, the fractional leader from Willie Castle far side. Johnny, Richard Copps, and then comes Francesco inside the final furlong. And it's Pops's Joy just hanging a little bit there. And Johnny just had a switch, but I don't think it's going to make much difference to the result as they come up towards the line. Pops's Joy and Lester Pickett aboard. They're going to win the Sportsman's Club Handicap and chase them home with Johnny in second place.
So Pops's Joy then is your main selection, the one that's definitely going to win. But it's a field that's really big enough, is it not, to have a couple of others to watch out for? So what shall we look out for?
I'm sorry, yeah, 4 places in the frame to fill. And I'm going for Popaway as a second choice. A Harry Ragg trained filly, and could be really well handicapped, especially if the weights go up about £5, and I think they probably will. Originally only given 6 stone 9 in the long handicap, but she's won a race since the weights are published at Ripon in a very fast time. And later handicaps show that this horse really ought to have about 15 pounds more. I reckon she'll carry about 7'4", including Bryn Crossley's apprentice allowance, and it should be about 7 stone 10, so this one could be well in, and Harry Ragg is a great trainer of fillies, so one to watch.
So that's Pop Away, right. Popsy's Joy, and one other very quickly.
Athford, a good plodder, acts on any ground, and good form behind Hylin earlier this year. Handicaps reversed that running, and a good chance, I think, at 33 to 1.
Now, it is fair to say we had some success last winter, in fact, with Tyrrell's midweek. We're now running through the winter months over the sticks. In fact, £29 profit to a £1 stake, and that feature is, in fact, returning, is it not, to Southsport?
Yes, back on November the 10th, and it's easier over the sticks, they say.
It's got to be, isn't it?
I suppose so.
God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fred.
So, just a reminder of John Tyrrell's 3 for the field for Saturday's big race, the Cesarewitch. They are Popsy's Joy, that's his main selection, but also keep an eye out for Pop Away and Athford.
Well, finally, golf and that marvellous golf team.
Lester Piggott should win this on Spark of Life, in which that great cricketer Colin Ingleby Mackenzie has an interest. Kareem has a possibility. Ramanoli, you may have seen run with us up at Redcar, hung a bit that day on the firm ground, were much better suited by this. The winner gets 6,500 plus a set of these crystal claret decanters and glasses of £500 worth. A fantastic great thing beside me here. So plenty to win. Let's go and join them down at the start. Spark of Life, the short price selection, and they'll pick at certainty, we think. Let's join them with some betting first, and then it's John Exie.
And Spark of Life shows the 5 to 4 on favourite. Ramanelli at 5 to 1. Spanish Bay and Neltino both at 6 to 1, 12 to 1 bar 4.
And you're looking at Neltino leading down Lester Piggott on Spark of Life. I didn't know that Colin Ingleby Mackenzie has a share in this. I sincerely hope that Lester Piggott is going to win for him. I think he very likely will, because Spark of Life has won his only 2 races, and the second one particularly easily. Admittedly, he only had some rather moderate rivals at York, but he absolutely hacked up from Maryland Cookie, and had won with an awful lot in hand the time before that at Yarmouth. So that there's every evidence that he was worth his 32,000, the 32,000 he cost. In fact, Spark of Life isn't in that picture. That's Spanish Bay on the right, Himmy, the one who hasn't run, in the centre. And I'll just go on briefly about Spark of Life. He's out of a mare who's a half-sister to Sparkler. She didn't actually run herself, but Sparkler, of course, was a real good horse, and Spark of Life has certainly inherited a good deal of that ability. So that's number 2, Spark of Life. We'll see him again presently. But coming across the picture now is Neltino, just going to the right of your picture, in Lady Beaverbrook's colours. Well, Dick Hearn seemed to think a good deal of Neltino, because he thought enough of him anyway to run him in the Royal Lodge. But last time out in that race, he could only finish last, behind, a long way behind, Robelino and Recitation. So you see how good a race it was, because Recitation, of course, has won the Grand Criterium in France since. Nevertheless, Neltino was no match for them, whatever. He'd been favourite first time out and got beat by Raza Penang. Nevertheless, has certainly shown some ability at West Ilsley, and the question is whether he can produce it on the racecourse. That's Neltino, and yes, in the background there is Kareem in the colours of Prince Faisal. Peter Walwyn trains him for Prince Faisal, and he won his very first race at Chester, and in fact has won 3 times altogether, at Lingfield and Haydock as well. But he's also been beaten a couple of times, had his limitations exposed, as they say, by Scintillating Air, for instance. Beat him quite a long way at York, and he ran rather disappointingly behind Tumbledown Hill. So it'll be a little bit surprised to me if Kareem is good enough with top weight, 9 stone 4, the same as Spark of Life. Another look at the betting.
And Kareem has just come into the market at 12 to 1. Spark of Life still the 5 to 4 on favourite. Ramanelli steady at 5 to 1, and Spanish Bay at 6s. Neltino now goes to 7 to 1 from 6 to 1. Kareem at 12, 25 to 1 bar.
There's Himmy, who hasn't had a run. I gather there was a slight mix-up at the beginning. I apologise for that. Apparently we lost a link there. Well, this is a filly by High Top. Hasn't run, but cost 50,000 guineas. Mr. Tiku owns her. Jeremy Hindley trains her. We shall see whether she's as good as the money suggests. I badly want to see Ramanoli in number 7 stall. Could we find number 7, Ramonoli?
He's just got into the stalls, John, already in number
Thank
7.
you. Well, he's a fascinating horse. This, he cost 43,000 guineas, trained by Tom Jones for Robert Sangster.